Austin with Austin Days Magazine, and I'm speaking to one of the pioneers of jazz rock, Larry Coryell. How are you, Larry?
I'm excellent. Thank you very much.
Great. Well, I'm going to start this out by quoting Richard Gunnell from AllMusic.com, a little paragraph, because I thought it described you most perfectly. Okay. As one of the pioneers of jazz rock, perhaps the pioneer in the ears of some, Larry Coryell deserves a special place in the history books. He brought what amounted to a nearly alien sensibility to jazz electric guitar playing in the 1960s, a hard-edged, cutting-tone, phrasing and note bending that owed as much to blues, rock, and even country as it did to earlier, smoother bop influences. Yet as a true eclectic, armed with a brilliant technique, he is most comfortable in almost every style, covering almost every bass from the most decibel-heavy, distortion-laden electric work to the most delicate, soothing, intricate lines on acoustic guitar. What is one of the best experiences you've ever had on stage?
Last night.
Really? What happened?
We had a great evening at the Iridium Club in New York. I had two different trios. The first trio was an acoustic trio, and we played music from my tribute to Martin Luther King. It's called Montgomery. The CD is called Montgomery. And then my jazz rock partners, Lenny White and Victor Bailey, came on stage, and we did our so-called fusion or jazz rock, more harder edge, like the quote that you mentioned earlier. And I was tired at the end of the night, but I felt rather fulfilled because it was nice to get to play in two different contexts.
Well, I know you've had a long and varied career. What do you hope to give to people when you play your music? What are you hoping that they take away from it?
Well, I think like anyone else in my shoes, we would want the people to enjoy what we are doing and feel. We want them to feel better when they leave the performance than when they came in.
That's great. I know that both your sons are in the music business. Do you have any advice for young ones that are just starting out?
Practice. That would be my first suggestion. I think that the young players beginning their careers now know more about the business than I do. I knew nothing about the business when I came to New York 46 years ago. And what I know about the business right now, I don't really care to comment on. The record company, I think you mentioned earlier, the record industry has imploded because of the technology. Everything has been cheapened, and I worry that the young players might get discouraged. I'm really worried about that, but I didn't get into this thing to make money.
Yeah, we're all worried about it.
Yeah, but I have the same attitude today that I had on September 3rd, 1965, when I drove my Volkswagen into the back of a truck as I entered Manhattan Island and had an accident. Just make sure you take care of the music and hope that you will attract someone or something that will help facilitate the business side. Now, many other guitarists of my generation are very good at promotion, and if you have that kind of personality, then do that. If you can self-promote, definitely do it. But I've never been very good at that. I'm still trying to figure out how to play. Well, music is hard. Music is very hard. To play well is very difficult. I remember watching Jimi Hendrix spend 5 hours with a wah-wah pedal in an apartment just practicing different aspects of how to use the wah-wah pedal. He was like a classical pianist, repeating and working stuff out and discovering things and disciplining and memorizing. It's an inside job. It's totally an inside job.
Okay, so I have a very broad question now, and I mean it's different for everybody. But what does music mean to you, and what do you think music is for?
Music exists for its own sake, and beyond that, you can't say much more. It has a life of its own, and it's not really connected literally to any ideas, although there's nothing wrong with being inspired by a person and writing a piece. That's a very good catalyst. But it really does have a life of its own, and its music is really nothing more than a combination of sound and silence, and the rest of it is up to the artist. But without music, we would all be miserable. That's safe to say that.
Mm-hmm. That's true. It certainly channels the emotions and makes us all relate to each other, don't you think?
Yeah, sometimes in bad ways,
Sometimes in bad ways, right. There's all sorts of things that can be channeled.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I would like to say.
Okay.
You're in Austin?
Yes, I'm in Austin.
Because I was born in Texas. It's my wish that the image of Texas, and through music, this can help. The image of Texas is resurrected to be what it really is, not what the rest of the 49 states perceive it as. It's not just about cowboys and oil wells. Actually, it's a complex fabric of generations of immigrants and incredible educational facilities and artists all over the place. And look at Austin, look at Houston, look at Dallas. It's also a place of beauty, sheer beauty. It was just a nice vibration, very mystical memories of growing up there, and it was really quite nice.